this model, we can see how the moon pulls the gravity from the Earth, creating tidal bulges. These bulges make the Earth look like a football, seen here. Why is this football shape caused? Well, this is due to the gravitational pull between the Earth and the moon causing these bulges. Seen from our last example, this is what's happening from the gravitational pull from both the Earth and the moon. The net tide generating force is the differential gravitational pull between the Earth, Sun, and Moon, creating bulges of water on opposite sides of the Earth. The bulges happen on the sides of the Earth facing away from the Moon and facing the Moon. Here you can see low tides and high tides. When you see the tide roll in or out, what you're really seeing is a cycle of small changes in the distribution of our planet's oceans. We experience 2 high tides and 2 low tides per day. 1 high tide to high tide cycle or low tide to low tide cycle. This takes a little over 2 hours to happen.
You spin my head right round when you go down, down.
You spin my head right around when you go down.
Anyway, let's ignore that. Next we have tidal lag. Isn't that fun? Tides don't align perfectly with the moon. Ha! The moon's gravity drives Earth's tides, but high tides don't line up exactly with the moon's position. Here on this example, you can see tidal lag. You can see how the moon and the tides don't perfectly align. In addition, Earth isn't a perfect, smooth sphere. The tides we actually see at our shores are affected by everything, from the shape of Earth's continents to the wind and storms. Last but not least, we have neap tides and spring tides. First, I will talk about neap tides. Neap tides usually occur on first quarter and third quarter. When the sun and moon are at right angles to each other, the sun's gravitational pull works against the moon's gravitational tug and practically cancels it out, creating the moderate tides called neap tides. Neap means a weaker tide with the smallest difference between high and low tide. Next, we have spring tides. Twice a month, when the Earth, Sun, and Moon line up, their gravitational power combines to make exceptionally high tides, where bulges occur, called spring tides, as well as very low tides where the water has been displaced. Spring tides meaning to well up or burst forward, describing the tide's dramatic rise and fall. Also, spring tides occur usually during full moon and new moon. Wait, where'd the model go?